better be focused right now, because we are going into the lesson, into the section actually, that after which you're going to have fully understand of basics of Photoshop. What does it mean? After this section you're ready to go into deep water with Photoshop. So we are going to start with filters. What's important about filters, once you understand them, you're going to connect them with layer masks, with adjustment layers, etc. So all of these things you learned before, all of these things you're going to learn now, and you're going to connect in your future work, no matter if you're going to work with retouching, no matter if you're going to work with photo composition, no matter if you're going to work with graphics, you're going to connect all of these into the one working tool. So I'm going to start just from simple things, right? And I nearly did a mistake at the very beginning, because remember the rule number 1. If you're not creating a new layer, it's better to duplicate your original layer. So you know, no matter you're going to do, you're going to work non-destructive. Okay, let's keep this as a layer number 1. So once again, I'm going to start from just simple things. Hit layer, and I'm going to show you filter gallery. What about filter gallery? If you want to create some abstract images, if you want to create some sketch, if you want to create some paintings, if you want to make this from your image, there's no better way in Photoshop. It's super easy. If you already feel a bit more fluent with Photoshop, you won't have any problem with working with this. So you don't need actually any knowledge, but we're going just to have a quick walkthrough how to work with this. I'm going to show you where the things exist, how to distinguish them, maybe how to experiment a little bit. So the thing is, I choose this image because it has really nice composition. And here on the right side from the image, you have few folders: artistic folder, brush strokes, distort, sketch, stylize, and texture. Some of them are not really nice, some of them are really amazing. And we're going to start from artistic folder. When you're going to open this, you have actually some of the filters inside. And that's all the point of this filter gallery. Can you imagine some kind of layer in front of your image, and this layer going, and into this layer you are going to apply some of the effect that's going to influence, which is going to affect the filter of your image, the way your image looks like. So that's something like that. So you have different filters, and most of them is not really interesting, few of them is really amazing, and you can actually choose the filter that looks really nice on your image. I'm just looking at different ones. We have really, I'm not going to read the names of it because that's not the point. I'm just looking for some really nice filter. In that case, I really like this one called Rough Pastels, was a name. And what's the funny fact, as you can see on the right side from these filters, we have some more options. Each of these has different options here that are changing on the right side. I'm going to go with this, and we have these options. We have such an option like stroke length, and you have a little strokes on this image. I'm going to pull this a bit higher, so it's going to make you see. Right now you can see these strokes. So you can actually control the final look of your filter. When you're going to pull this down, you won't have any strokes. When you pull this up, you will have a massive strokes. So find the balance between all of this to make this effect, this filter looks the best for your image. Also, the stroke details, we're going to put this up. It's going to destroy this a little bit, of course. It's going to affect this too strong. I don't really like this, so put this down. Also, we can change the texture, and we have a few options for the texture. Brick, burlap, I'm sorry, it's really difficult to say that for me. I hope I say it right. You probably notice the English is not really my first language. I speak fluent, however, still, sometimes it's not really so easy for my tongue. Canvas and sandstone. Okay, I'm just going to start with, which was, I think it was canvas, was the one we started. Okay, and we can change the scaling. We can make this a bit smaller or a bit more visible, simply speaking. Also, relief. So we're going to make this stronger. It's going to affect this a bit more. When you're going to pull down relief, there's not really effect on your image. So I want this visible. Okay. So as you can see, you can really experiment with all of this, and for each filter you're going to work with different preferences over here. Except artistic, I would really recommend you brush strokes, which looks really amazing for image. They are very similar to artistic ones. You can find a few really nice ones, as this one. Distort also will be nice, however I really like the first two. Sketch, probably in many cases you're not going to use this. Stylize, it's absolute abstraction, so I'm not using this at all. And texture could be quite nice. Sometimes I probably use this a few times in my career, but what I like the first two. They have really interesting effects, and you can really get a nice paintings from it, for example. So after we finish this, we can hit OK, and here is our effect. But okay, here could be maybe another thing. What if you don't want to apply this effect into all of your image? So why I'm saying this? Because I want to really show you the real work with something we learned before. And that's important for you to use your creativity sometimes and connect the points with the past a little bit. Remember to use the things you learned before. So okay, I don't want this to be applied to all of this image. I'm going to create layer mask. I'm going to choose color black, and I'm thinking where I don't really want this. Well, maybe I want to keep the sky as natural as it was before. It wasn't so easy because it wasn't our brush. I'm going to hit brush, make it bigger once again, and here we are. We bring in the natural look for our sky. That was something I really wanted to, and our sky looks absolutely as the new one. So okay, that's the first step we did. What else? Well, I think I want to apply some of the contrast as well as some of the lights. I'm going to use levels for it. Bring up some of the shadows, take down some of the lights. It's a bit more contrastic right now. Also, I'm going to use a little bit curves to experiment with cross-processing. And that's something I really like right now. Also, we could use filter, we could use solid color, we could use gradient map to add some really nice, some really maybe interesting effect at the end to our image. Okay, I'm not going to experiment too much because I don't want to make this too long. I'm going to set this for color, or maybe even not, maybe not. So yeah, let's experiment with saturation. Take this down a little bit. I totally prefer the previous effect. Let's try once again with color. And that's something I really like. I take down some opacity, and here we are. So the point is how we use filters. Filter gallery, actually, you already know how to connect this with different tools. You already know, and you're going to practice this even more with me.